I was asked the other
Storage
day.
buildings.
Storage buildings is what we hear.
More tiny homes, Terry.
That's across the road right there. I'd like to bring tonight's meeting to order and ask you to silence your phone if you have not done so already. And wait for Brent to be seated.
Only to stand.
And I'd like to ask Pastor Little to offer our invocation tonight.
Let's bow our heads together this evening. Lord, thank you for a great day. Thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for the rain that we got yesterday. We're so grateful for that. I'm reminded of what David wrote when he said, speaking of you, that your praise would continually be in his mouth. I wish, Lord, that that could be said of us sometimes, that if your praise was constantly in our mouths, how much better would our quality of life be? We want to give you thanks for everything. Thank you for every little thing, every big thing. And tonight, would you bless, Lord, in this place? I pray for clarity. I pray for wisdom for this city council, these that lead us and serve us. I ask you, Lord, to bless them. Bless their homes, their families, and bless every home, every family within our city. We just ask you to be with us. We want to bless you just like we ask you to bless us. We cannot bless you in the way that you bless us, but again, David said, I'll bless the Lord at all times. And so we bless you the best way we can, and that's by honoring you as a great God. So bless these things tonight. We give you thanks for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor. Okay. See how fast we can move this along tonight. Items of community interest, I have a couple things to tell you. We have an all-you-can-eat breakfast at the Bowie Senior Citizens Center on this Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It is a fundraiser for the for the Senior Citizen Center. And on May the 6th, we have free dump day, which is Friday. Up to 1,000 pounds, I think, is free at the transfer station. I also believe that Cindy has handed something out for you. It's May the 6th is the first Sip and Stroll of the year. Be there, be square. She's got quite a few more community businesses that have signed up this year, so we're looking forward to that. Anybody else have anything to say? Jim Bowie Bunning's going to be calling you here for too long to get your Jim Bowie flags, so don't pass that up. We have item number 5 on the agenda is a proclamation for national travel and tourism in Texas, and we're going to present this to Cindy Roller. So you get to come forward and have your picture made. We know you got that. And because you educate us a lot. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing this to our attention. Yes. We are offering a proclamation for National Travel and Tourism Week, whereas the power of travel has been a consistent driver of Texas' economy and workforce, and whereas spending by travelers has aided state and local governments alike, and whereas travel and tourism dependent businesses and organizations, 83% of which small businesses are responsible for welcoming visitors from all around the world to explore Texas and all our country has to offer. Whereas National Travel and Tourism Week will spotlight the critical role that travel will play in driving economic growth and building to the path forward through the theme of Future of Texas. And whereas this year's theme elevates how the travel industry can restore the workforce, help communities recover, foster sustainability, usher in new innovations, and reconnect travelers in the U.S. and around the world. And whereas the future of travel will revive Bowie, Texas, and the United States and drive us forward to a more prosperous future. Therefore, I, Galen Burris, Mayor, do hereby proclaim May 1 through 7, 2022 as National Travel and Tourism Week in Bowie, Texas, and urge the citizens of Bowie to join me in this critical role this industry plays in Texas. sign out of the Bowie knife that has QR code on it, and you can scan the QR code as a visitor out there and sign in the page, the guest book. We've had 22, I think, sign in already from 7 different states, as far away as Michigan and New York. So, there's lots of people.
Good job,
who said
Cindy.
no. Yes, ma'am.
I've been out there, there was a gentleman from Poland.
Hope these items get stuck. Thank you, Cindy, for always keeping us aware of those things. All right, the next item on the agenda is the city manager's report, so go.
I need to make y'all aware that I've got my phone on. I'm waiting on a call from it's already on.
I know.
Okay.
I wanted to hear what you have to say.
Pardon me, I don't do it exactly like she wants it. I have to. Anyway, I've got my phone on. I'm waiting on a call from the federal government for them to show me what I'm doing wrong. We have to have the report in by Saturday, for the, coronavirus money that we got and we're gonna get, so, I've got to the proper web page and stuff, but it still won't go through, so if the phone rings, I may take off running, cause I gotta get that done, it just eating on me, so. As I told all of y'all in the email, we scored the highest score in our quest for a solid waste grant last Monday. We asked for an incinerator to dispose of evidence and drugs for our police department. Kirk Higgins and Guy Green made our presentations, which included a slideshow showing the incinerator and the room full of storage boxes we'd be to destroy. And there is a room back there that's full of, and we look forward to emptying that room out. The application was for $5,500, and we're waiting on approval from TCEQ so that we can get the equipment ordered. Kirk and Guy made a great presentation, and North Texas director said the application was very unique and an innovative way to keep trash out of our landfill. So we're really proud of these guys that they did a good job. I was on the scoring committee. I couldn't vote on Bowie, but it didn't matter anyway. We still came out number 1 on the thing, so it was a good deal. Stoney and the street departments and water departments have been working in the NorthPark subdivision. There was some undersized water lines that were replaced where homes were being served by 1-inch water lines that should have been 6-inch lines. They also looped all the lines in the area, which will give them better water and more volume and pressure. This will enable the new homes that are being built in the area better service. When the lines were replaced, they paved Teglin Street, which is the furthest north street in that subdivision, and part of Jefferson Street. They did an excellent job. So if y'all get a chance, go look at Teglin Street and look at that area. The Southside Ussery Street sewer line project is set to begin. We gave the contractor the notice to proceed as quickly as we could so that he could get the line and manholes ordered before the prices go up, which is what's going on now. I will give you more information as that job progresses as soon as the contractor moves in. On our sewer line replacement program, where we borrowed the money from Texas Water Development Board, we finally got approval from the Water Development Board that we've cleared the environmental review with no problems. And I said in my notes here, glaring problems, and I think that's the word that the Water Development Board used, so evidently we're passing. When we get the official notice, the engineers should start making progress on the line replacement. So they'll start engineering, and hopefully as they get it engineered, each section where we're gonna replace it engineered, that we can start construction. I don't know if they'll let the whole job at one time or what, but anyway, I'll let you know what's going on there. We've already received a check for the tornado damage from the city's insurance. We received $47,453 for the building at the sewer plant, $13,076 for the hangar doors at the airport, and $1,630 for the wastewater lift station, or a total of $62,160. The ambulance insurance took a little longer, but we will be getting a check for $31,096 for it. Doug has been looking at used ambulances to cover us in the short term until we can get a new one. Hopefully we can find a good used one that will tide us over. I got an email when I walked in this morning, which was about 2 weeks late. And the email was from Texas Department of Agriculture. Last year, Texas Department of Agriculture took over the scoring for the Community Development Block grants, and so we really had no say in it. And we've always scored at the local level, at the regional COG, and so I understand that there's movement going on to change that, and there's a meeting that I have to attend in Corpus Christi, 4th and 5th, with the Department of Agriculture. I'm on a committee, and we're going to try to get the Department of Agriculture to let us do the scoring locally. So, which it works a lot better. We know what we need. Other COG areas know what they need, and it's not the same. Texas is a vast state, and everything's different in the state. So, anyway, I'll be going there the 4th and the 5th, and North Texas is going to pay my way, so y'all don't have to worry about it. As I said a while ago, the Treasury Department report for the money we're getting, the COVID money we're getting, is due April the 30th, and I'm hung up on their website. I can't get what they get when they do their demonstrations, and my phone's ready to answer their call when they call me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I got a real surprise a while ago. About every quarter we get scoring, every year we get scoring from TxDOT on the Regional Rural Transportation Council. And what we do is Nortex, we have a meeting in Nortex, and they score the projects in the area. And I've been disappointed the last 3 years because we hadn't done better. And the main emphasis I'm trying to do is trying to get TxDOT to rebuild the railroad bridge on Mill Street. Well, we scored high enough this time that I think it could happen if there's enough money for the area. But the main item that we do on the TxDOT deal is north and south of Bowie, US 81, and they're talking about Wise Street and about the congestion at 81 or Wise Street and Highway 59. And that's number 5 on the list, which is in the top 10, and it's marked as a high priority item. And then the next one is number 6, which amazes me that we have 2 in the top 10. Is replacing the existing railroad underpass on Mill Street, which again, it's high priority. And then in number 10 on the list is to widen Wise Street from Mill Street to Washington Street. That lane from really and truly is just like a 2-block area where the lane is a foot narrower than it should be, than standards, and it had always been that way. And I brought it up to TxDOT last year, I guess, and so it's made it up to number 10 on the list. So I was really pleased with these scores. That I guess my whining has done some good, because that's basically what you do when you go up to that meeting, is you whine a lot, about hours of work. Of course, there's 4 other projects that are all highway projects, and most of them are around Wichita Falls, but that's what you run into when the engineers live there. So anyway, I was pleased with that. Any questions?
The insurance money that we got for all the different items, are they gonna cover replacements or repairs?
The airport doors, I think, are pretty much complete, the repair on that. The building, we should be able to replace it for less money than what we got. And I don't know about the lift station, that's not a big high dollar item and stuff. And we'll just have to see about the ambulance. Doug, have you got any comments on the ambulance?
We found a used one in Indiana. We're looking at trying to get that in here. It's $15,000 is all. But it's a 2011 model. And it's a remount. The box is a 2001 model. But it's something that we can get that's affordable, that can get us through until we get a new truck bought.
So we're
So
looking-
how many do you have on the road right now?
2. One, we just got out of the shop, had a fuel system that we had to replace on it. We were down to one where we had to borrow an ambulance from St. Joe. They were gracious enough to let us use one. We still have it over here, but we don't have it in service right now.
So, I'm only talking about this because we have an ambulance on the agenda, but, and I've talked to Bert about this, and it's something council hasn't heard anything about. I know we restricted funds for a new ambulance.
Yes, ma'am?
I talked to Bert about this. Before you settle on a used ambulance, why don't we come to the council first with looking at moving that new purchase a little bit sooner?
It's still 14 months to get that truck in here.
Buying another used ambulance seems like just lining our pockets with more problems.
Well, in a way it does, but it alleviates we need that third truck issue. When one of these others breaks down, then we're down to one truck.
Do we
I
have
mean,
enough in the
it's-
restricted account to buy a new ambulance?
I'm sorry?
How much, do we have enough in the restricted account?
I don't know what the balance is
We
right
don't have
now.
enough to pay for it. We have enough to put a hefty down payment on
I
it.
Right.
think what he's saying is that there's not, the time to get a new one is still well
Right.
So,
way
so
out
you
there.
don't,
If we ordered one today, it's 14
months out.
Yeah. And this would be something that we could order or have delivered in 2 weeks, have it in service, place that order, and get us by.
Okay,
A brand-new ambulance is around $300,000.
yeah, I know.
They're expensive.
Well, I know that's in our plan, so I guess the,
See, it should be the rotation for the budget, this coming budget year.
right,
There's money that we should be able to finish the payment on the one that we have, the 2019 model, and that it should leave enough money available for a down payment to start the process on another new ambulance.
okay.
And,
Well-
and so y'all will know, I've been talking to the county judge, Doug knows this, that the county's gonna get a lot of coronavirus money. Now, the county's not gonna spend any money, the judge has told me, until they get their second check. They're not gonna dedicate any money, so, but there's a lot of, movement to get them to buy an ambulance for Bowie, one for Nocona and one for St. Joe. Hopefully that'll come to fruition, but that's what I'm pushing them for, is to spend some of that money on each community, so. Because, you know, St. Joe covers outside of St. Joe, covers out in the county, we cover out in the county, so it would behoove the county to buy each of us an ambulance, and that would really help. But I don't know if they will or not, but every time I see the judge, I ask him about it, so.
Rick, I have one question. On the ambulances, on the used market, on those, what is there some out there maybe that's, instead of putting all the money in, $300,000 and buying a brand new one, can you put maybe $150,000, $200,000 in one maybe that's a really nice, that's barely used, that you can get right now? Is there, instead of buying a.
You don't normally find those.
Instead of, is it
yeah.
easy to find, or can
No.
you find them at all?
Those aren't easy to find, simply because once you make that much of an investment, you keep it in service.
Right, okay. So, okay.
Yeah, 'cause if you keep buying two good ones, you could buy
Right.
two for.
Yeah, I was thinking instead of buying a $15,000 ambulance, find a newer one, but.
Right. No, at the end of their life cycle, and ours they have a life cycle of about 12 years.
Right.
Anything beyond that, I mean, we have one that's at 9 years, and it has 233,000 miles on it. And it's limping along still. That's the one we replaced the fuel system on. Upper oil pan's leaking, but we can't take it out of service to fix it, because then we would be down too long.
Right.
So we have to get something else in place before we can get that fixed.
And I've spoken to you about those remounts before. They don't usually hardly last that long, do
Right.
they? Right. Okay.
Something we just ought to keep in the back of our mind, it may be time to go ahead and place that order.
Yeah, I'm all for that, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. You have your minutes from the April 11th meeting, plus your write-offs for utilities and the library. Utilities, I want you to please notice it's down to $22.88. That's a remarkable number. And then also you have your quarterly financial statement. I They all got them last week? This week? Today? Friday. So if you had a chance to go through it, Pamela's here if you need to answer any questions. And Pamela, do you have any presentation you'd like to make for this? I looked at it and I was quite pleased. So
Very proud
Right.
of the department heads.
we're moving along really smoothly. This considering
Considering what?
inflation,
Oh,
gasoline prices.
you hadn't got a bill for any line lately.
Nope, no.
You will, we will.
So if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to accept all as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Gunner?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bates?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
Heffley?
Aye.
Post?
Aye.
Thank you. Does anybody have any old business they want to discuss? If not, let's move on to new business, which is to consider the appointment of the Community Development, to the Community Development Board. A Miss Debbie Halbrook, she is in the room. Some of you may or may not know her. She's shown quite a bit of interest in working her hiney off at the Christmas parade. Watch my language. Do you have any questions for Debbie? If not, I will entertain a motion to accept Debbie Halbrook as presented as a new member to the Community Development Board.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
That was a tie, so Christie is getting it. So, Post. How do you vote, ma'am?
Aye.
Bates,
Aye.
Heffley,
Aye.
Gunner,
Aye.
Love,
Aye.
and Shaw.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Halbrook. Welcome aboard. All right, the next item on the agenda is from the Planning and Zoning Committee. Mr. Coming forward for you.
All right. On April 21st, 2022, the Planning and Zoning Commission met and had discussion about the request from Mr. Fuentes to replat to 20.35 acres in Block 10, the HCSL survey, A319, and the TE and L County survey, number 2857, A-785, and made these, we created Lot 1 and Lot 2, Block 1, the Puentes addition. And you have your map there in front of you, and of course the two different surveys. You can see a dotted line running straight north and south there, and that's the dividing line on those two surveys. There is an existing lot that you see listed there, and then Lot 1 below that is where Mr. Puentes lives, and that's 502 Jones Street, and so he's selling off the almost 20 acres there, Lot 2, and that, of course, is zoned heavy industrial, so it's got to be some kind of a, industry that's going to buy it. There's access at the end of Jones Street, about 48 feet right there, that you can see on it. Russey Street does not exist. It's, it was hoping that it would be there, but it isn't. It's just simple. He owned all of that and wanted to keep the one lot for where his house is and sell off the rest. And so we didn't see any problem with doing that. The only problem might be, what number we make lot 2 there, because the 500 starts the block. So Mr. Rainey said have to come up with something ingenious, I guess you'd say. So, if there's any questions, we'll be glad to answer those.
Anybody? Okay, then I entertain a motion to accept the new plat as presented by the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Make the motion.
Bates, do I have a second?
Second.
Love? Heffley?
Aye.
Gunner?
Aye.
Bates?
Aye.
Aye.
And Post.
Aye.
Okay, so the last item on the agenda is the 24, thank you, Mr. Calabretta, the 24.35 acre tract owned by the city out at the Amon Carter Lake. Bert's going to give you some information, and I hope that you all had a chance to go by and see it. If you don't, please speak up so that we can make sure that you do see it before any decisions are made.
Mostly this is just, informational for y'all so that you'll, be able to give us some guidance on, how you wanna handle it. It's my understanding that, city staff has known about this land for quite some time, and previous, management didn't wanna sell it. For what reason, I don't know, but it's not on the tax rolls because we own it, the city owns it, and, it's a lot of nice land out there and could bring the city a nifty sum of money. David told me about it about almost 6 months, a year ago, and so I made the decision to go ahead and have it surveyed so we'd know exactly what we had. And we had it surveyed, and we have some plats, and I think y'all have seen the plat of the property. But it is on that new side, and I think we need to sell it. I think there's some things that we can require in the sale if y'all decide to sell the property to hopefully someone that will build some homes out there. There's water pretty close by, one of our water lines right down the road adjacent to it. And I think it'll bring, like I said, a nifty sum of money. And at the same time that we do this, I'd like to enact an ordinance allowing boathouses and docks on the new side as long as a permit fee is paid. And the reason for the permit fee is so that if those docks and boathouses get in disrepair, the city will have the funds to fix whatever's wrong and try to collect from the people that build those. The reason we have the ordinance where there's no boathouses or docks over there is because years ago, the docks and boathouses on Amon Carter would get in disrepair, and we had no authority whatsoever to make people fix them, and so that's where the ordinance of no docks or boathouses over there. And I'll recommend a pretty hefty permit fee to do that so that we can put the money away, and then if somebody's property becomes in disrepair, we can take money out of that and fix whatever's wrong and at least make it look good. So I recommend that we sell it and that we have a permit fee and an ordinance to allow boathouses and docks. So it's up to y'all, and I just bring that up for y'all's discussion to kind of give us some guidance on what you want to do.
So it was real important to me that you guys get a chance to see where this property is and go out and take a look at it. It's it's a beautiful piece of property, don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. But at the end of it is where the boat ramp is that Silver Lakes has. And that's one of the things he's talking about. We would hope that it could be written up so that whoever buys the piece of property, there's still a easement for the landowner at the end of it and the boat ramp. So.
One of the things I wanted to do, and I think there's a gentleman here from Property Owners Association out at Silver Lake. Am I correct? Correct. I was not here when you came before, so. Right. Anyway, I wanted to make them aware that we had that property and it was for sale because, you know, it directly affects them and we're trying to keep them in the loop on this deal, so. Anyway.
So we would definitely want some caveats added to it when we sell it. But it would have to go out for a sealed bid, just like everything else that we do. And I wasn't ready for you guys to make a vote tonight. I want you to think about it. I want you to go see the property and see what is out there. But if somebody built some houses out there, they sure would have a pretty overlook. It's a gorgeous place.
I'm all for selling it, but instead of us going blind on this, I think need to make the request that we do an appraisal on the property. So we have kind of like an idea of what the property's worth, because we might just get one bid on this and we don't know what it's worth. So, that's my only request, but I have no problem selling it.
The only thing I could add to that with Jason is, you know, we don't have to go to the expense of having it appraised. It wouldn't hurt, but we don't have to. But if we do sell the property on a bid basis, we can reject any and all bids, you know, when we're open and stuff. So we've got an open end there where we can reject if we don't think we're getting enough money for it, so. Anybody else got any ideas about
How
it?
did we come to own this?
I'm sorry?
How did we get this?
This was purchased when we purchased the property for the expansion of Amy Carter Lane.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I can't figure out, why Blue Green Corporation didn't buy this when they bought the rest of it. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. Sandwiched on two sides.
Yeah,
Phases from Silver Lake Ranch.
yeah. So anyway, it's, we want to sell it, so.
It has city access to city water, so, and it's a very usable piece of property.
It's fairly rough in its current state. I do know that, I mean, going out there, but I mean, and you can drive all the way back through it on the road.
You can get all the way to that boat ramp with a boat. So, but anyway, I want you guys to think about it, take a look at it, and, because I'm gonna put it on the agenda the next time we come back so that we can make a plan, and we'll decide then on the appraisal and whether or not we want to sell it.
So the Boathouse Fee, have we got an idea on that?
Okay, that's not really on our agenda.
Okay.
I can tell you what I've got in mind.
So I was gonna get it out of them anyways.
You wanna know?
Yeah, I wanna hear it.
I figure a permit fee of $10,000.
Okay. Is that comparable to other lakes, or?
I don't know. I just know that anytime that you have a boathouse to repair or a dock to repair, it's not gonna be cheap, so,
Okay, I don't want you talking about it.
I know it.
So,
All right,
all right,
But you twisted my arm.
I
to get
did,
me to
I
take
did.
it.
I didn't even have to twist those.
come to order. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have anybody? Yes, ma'am. You are welcome to go to the podium.
I'm getting old in the knees. The thought has occurred to me over the last couple of months that there are two words that we do not speak often enough. And I would like to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who has supported Bowie, Texas. I would like to thank you for the people that responded to the damage that has occurred to our community. And I'm very thankful I was on the west side of 59 and Stony Road. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you. It is something that we must always cherish. And since we have a national proclamation of tourism given here tonight, I would like to remind each and every one of us what brings tourism into our community. It's the businesses. It's the events. It's the people that help promote our community. The next big event is the Jim Bowie Days Association Rodeo and Festival. I can remember a year that we had the red, white, and blue buntings all the way past Liscombe's, all the way past Camper's Paradise. We had it on Highway 81. We had it out towards the lake, everywhere. And what did these buntings do? The people who were traveling on the highways that come into Bowie, Texas, they all wanted to know what is going on, what is celebrating in Bowie, Texas. So you who have businesses, may I encourage you, please put up those buntings. Let people know that you are promoting your business, you're promoting this event, and you are promoting Bowie, Texas. The result of people that come into our community and city limits means sales money. Bowie Community Development Board has brought in Sip and Stroll. This is an opportunity for people to visit the businesses and have fun and socialize. So, hey, thank to those people who do all of this work. And one last comment, don't forget August the 30th, all you can eat pancake breakfast. This helps our senior citizens community project help our business Meals on Wheels. And a lot of people don't know that the dining room is open now. They're having activities such as bingo and tea parties, etc. And they have some of the craziest puzzles out there. And this crazy lady who has enough, doesn't have enough sense, but sit there and put together a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. So, hey, if you say you can't find anything to do, just look around, talk to each other, and I say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mildred. So you have something you want to say?
Yeah, one last thing, back 12, 15 years ago, we had an organization called the Disaster Recovery Board that was called together by the county judge to take care of the Ringgold fire victims. And luckily, some of the guys that I was on the board with kept the board going. We're a 501c3 corporation, and we're taking donations to help people that had damage as much as we can. It all depends on how much money we get, how many donations are made to help people in need. There's people out there that, you know, their house is completely gone and they don't have enough money, or a lot of them are totally gone, their homes are, and some of them are heavily damaged so they can't live in them, and they don't have the resources to fix them, and they need help. So if you see something, or if you care to make a donation or somebody does, please give me a call. I've got the information where to send the checks to, but they're tax deductible, and it'll go to help people repair their residence and stuff. So just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, anything else? If not, let's adjourn at 6:39.